Welcome to today's episode of Heard and Seen Around. I am Rajesh Karipurath. This is my take on macroeconomic and geoeconomic data points, which I find interesting. I hope you enjoy watching it as much as I enjoyed curating it. Cheers.
My office chair is the only thing supporting my career right now. "You are on mute" is the official slogan of remote work. Voting is like choosing what to watch on television with millions of roommates. A campaign speech is the art of talking without saying anything. The government is the only group that prints its own money and goes broke.
Here's a fascinating long-term comparison. The US stock market is now worth nearly 2.5 times its GDP, while India is around 1.3 times. And that gap could get much smaller. India's market cap to GDP ratio was already around 161% in 2007 before falling sharply during the global financial crisis. Today, the economy is far larger and the equity market is much deeper. Over the next decade, new listings, higher valuations, and improving corporate margins could all push that ratio higher. Corporate India has entered a rather expensive club. 1 in 5 Nifty 50 CEOs now earn more than 50 crores a year, according to FY26 annual report disclosures. And the top end is getting spectacular. HCL Tech's C. Vijaykumar earned about 171 crores, while L&T's S.N. Subramanian earned 120 crores. Infosys' Salil Parekh was at 82.6 crores. Much of this is in traditional salary, stock-linked incentives, and performance pay are doing the heavy lifting. Skyroot has put India's private space industry firmly on the global map. So you might assume every startup building rockets, satellites, and propulsion systems is swimming in venture capital. Not quite. India now has 285 space tech startups, but only 72 have received institutional equity funding. That means roughly 3 out of 4 are still unfunded. The sector has raised an impressive $871 million, but more than 60% of the money has gone to just the top 10 companies. China has dominated India economically for decades, and the gap is still enormous. But the direction of travel is changing. Since 2020, India's per capita GDP has grown at roughly 6% annually versus 4.6% for China. And look at the longer arc. China's per capita GDP growth averaged 13% between 2000 and 2019, while India managed 7.9%. Now China has slowed sharply, while India is sustaining a much faster pace. So no, India isn't catching China overnight. The gap is still huge. Look at what happened to India's defense sector since 2014. Defense production has nearly quadrupled from 43,756 crores to a record 1.78 lakh crores in FY26. Exports have gone from just 686 crores to 38,424 crores, more than a 55-fold increase. And this isn't just government factories getting bigger. Defense startups have gone from essentially 0 to 676, while private production now accounts for 24% of the total output. Even defense industrial licenses have more than tripled from 258 to 834. Bigger story is the shift from buyer to builder. India's retail F&O casino is getting slightly smaller, but the bill is still enormous. In FY26, 78.6 lakh individual traders lost 91,685 crores, averaging 1.17 lakh per person. That's actually an improvement from FY25, when losses hit 1.12 lakh crores. And this is after SEBI tightening the rules, with option volumes falling by more than 50%. The uncomfortable truth: speculation isn't necessarily becoming more profitable just because it's becoming more sophisticated.